don't know who this might help. I don't know if I'm just helping myself at this point, but so much has changed, so much has rearranged. I quit my job again because it's not a part of my alignment, for one. For two, God told me to. And it's because He told me that there's something better. I don't know what that better exactly looks like, but I know what it doesn't look like. And it's brought me to different places and experiences in my life that I never would have thought, never would have thunk would be a part of my experience. And I know it's not all God, that brought me to these experiences. It's also me learning the lessons and the things that are needed for me to get to the next level, right? Yes. But like I said, this is not my first time quitting my job. And I've realized that it's because I started to lose faith in what I believed, not even just what I believed, but what I was being told. And I mean being told from my higher power, from my God, from my spirit team, from my ancestors, from whoever is speaking to me at the time. Because people like to get technical about the wording, but I feel like all of them can speak to you at different times. It all depends on where you are in your stage of development and growth, and what you need to know and who or what higher power would have the most experience and the most benefits. I just absolutely hate loud cars. Cars be loud for what? You ain't going away. I still see you. You're right there. But anyway, I feel like I said, this is not loud as hell. This is not my first time quitting my job. And I know it looks foreign to people who are on the outside who didn't receive the same message that God gave me. And not saying that people receive duplicates of a message. No, mine is uniquely tailored to me. And when I start to forget the original message, or I start to fear the original message because of all of the experiences that come attached to it. I'm thinking about this video that I watched that was about the Bible, and it said, don't quote me because I'm not the one to quote about the Bible, but the one that I believe it's when it says somebody, I can't remember, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, somebody was becoming king, and if he knew everything that he had to go through and experience and feel to get to that period of being a king, he wouldn't do it. So it's like you can't know everything just because it's something that you think it would be easier for you to get to the end goal. No, it's not going to be easier to get to the end goal. Some things you go through might not be pretty. Some things you go through might not be pretty, but it's a part of your development. It's a part of your path. It's a part of teaching you certain things that you wouldn't have learned if you stayed in your comfort zone, right? So I was very comfy. I was very good at my jobs, all of them. Superb. They loved me. I was good at all my jobs. I wasn't happy. I could have stayed there and had longevity and been waiting for my time to retire like everyone else around me who was very unhappy with, with their circumstances. And that's not a life that I wanted to choose for myself. I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot just in this past year. It's been a lot. But I know it's nothing but space, opportunity, time to recognize my growth from where I came from into where I'm trying to go, into where I know that God is leading me to go, Spirit's leading me to go, because wherever I need to go is better than where I came from. That's all I know. I just don't know how it's directly tailored. And listening to that voice that initially told me, or that I initially heard and felt, that encouraged me to make the moves that I made towards freedom, sometimes it can get a little clouded because of all the times that I need to show up in the tests, if that makes sense. So it's like, if like you're in school and you have your lesson time, you have your learning time, you have your course time, your class time, but then it's a time when you're taking a test and the teacher is quiet. The teacher's not going to be as loud as when they're teaching. You know what I mean? Like, when it's time for you to take the test and show what you know, and now it's time for you to show that you're ready for the next level, for the next step, they're not going to be as loud. They're not going to be as vocal. They're not going to be as present. So that's when you need to show up as your new self. Show up as your growth of self, if that makes sense, through any obstacles that come up, because there's going to be obstacles. It's going to be challenges. It's going to be scenarios that are thrown towards you that you're like, wait, this looks like the exact opposite of what I asked for. And Spirit's like, look, hold up. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. You might not know, but I know what I'm doing. So that means we know what we're doing. So that means we just need to make sure that we stay in a positively elevated vibration, even through the obstacles, because sometimes the obstacles are not what God is presenting to you. It's more so just you getting in the way. You get in the way of the plan, or you get in the what the fuck? You get in the way of the plan, or not showing up in your new evolved self, if that makes sense. So right now things are looking a little different. As you see, I'm walking. All my other videos been in the car, but we're here, we're present, we're alive, we're healthy, we're learning, we're growing. And as we continue to learn and grow, it's always more to learn and grow. And we're going to accept that so that we can know how to maneuver in our next season, and and not always looking for a reason, if that makes sense. One thing I've learned while I'm going through these changes and rearranges, because I know that's all it is, it's just God lining up certain things within myself and around me. Because if I carry myself the same way as I did in my survival season, in my super independent season, I wouldn't be able to appreciate or know how to show up in my receiving season, if that makes sense. I've learned not to care what people think, not to assume what people think, not to be too hard on myself, because I'm comparing myself to who I used to be, how I used to respond to things, what I used to have, and then also being able to keep myself in that position of gratitude and setting that example for my kids, setting that example for my family all around. That, like, we are not our material things. We are not our old selves. If you want to grow into something different, if you want to be more confident, we got to learn how to grow into that. You might have to not be confident first, go through some experiences to make you realize that, hey, I am that bitch. I am that shit. Like, you can't tell me I'm not. Type of energy. This is absolutely not for the weak, not for the meek, Mills. This is not for none of that. You have to be strong and confident and faithful to what you believe is best for your life, best for you, best for your family, and believe in what God is telling you. Because any moment of weakness, that's when that test come up. That's when that test of faith comes in, and you can either pass or fail. And it ain't really no failing. It's just you about to retake this course. You about to rejoin this lesson. You about to go through the same thing in a different form before you can reach your blessing. Before you can recognize that it's a lesson, then you can reach your blessing, if that makes sense. I don't know if this helped anybody. I definitely feel better getting it off my chest, because this helps me reinforce my faith, you know, keep track of my progress as I move along my journey, and then also help and encourage other people who might feel at any stage of what I'm going through, if that makes sense. Or if you're not, I don't know. I hope it does help as an encouraging word to continue maintaining your faith, your strength, your resilience, perseverance, all of that, because everything that we're doing amounts to something. So what are you doing? Good, bad, what are you doing? Because it's going to amount to something. I hope y'all have a good day.